Thursday for today. How's everybody doing? Doing good? Sore? Everybody is still sore from Murph on Monday? Where were you guys Monday? Working. Take off from work. All right, guys. So I hit another PR on my meditation earlier this week. Sophie's like started clapping before she even knew it happened. It's like, PR, yay! So I did a 2-hour and 24-minute meditation the other day in the morning. And I'm not telling you because I'm like, want the pat on the back. I'm telling you because I have no idea why I'm telling you, but it's something to say. No, but I'll tell you because there's a lot of insights that came from it, and I want you to know what it kind of took to get these insights. And it literally was just laying there or sitting there for about 2 hours and 24 minutes and not doing anything. And you may be saying to yourself, like, well, you got to do, how did you do that? What kind of medication were you on? How'd you not fall asleep? Yeah, that's a common thing I get when people say, I always fall asleep when I meditate. And I go, and? What is your body telling you? Probably should go to sleep, right? Like, it's so weird. Every time I meditate, like, I end up napping. It's probably a good thing, right? But usually I'll do my meditation in the morning because, bang, there's no excuses. I don't get caught up in something else. As soon as I check my phone, there's something I got to do. So I just literally, this opportunity, Laura's out of town, so it wasn't, something I was like getting up and seeing Laura in the morning. Like, is he dead in his room? Is he dead in a bed or something like that? So I had some space to be like, you know what? I have an opportunity to kind of detox a little bit because I was like kind of doing some meditation here and there, maybe 30 minutes here and there. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going for like at least 2 hours here. So my experience this time during my meditation was like the first 40 minutes or so, you don't realize it, but you're actually trying to organize everything and try to put things in place. You're like, I'm just going to let go. And you're like, I got to let go of things. And I got to let go of this and that and that. And you're like, wait, if I'm continually letting go of things, I'm trying to organize this. So you start to realize that all you are is you're on a roller coaster. The roller coaster is always going this way. But all of a sudden there's like little like ideas or thought bubbles that come up. And it's like it comes along at you and you're like, oh, wow, I'm going to grab onto that. And now you're stopping the roller coaster. The roller coaster wants to go forward, but as soon as you get kind of caught in that thought, the roller coaster stops, and now you're looking at that the whole time. If you feel me on this analogy, right? So I started noticing those things after about 40 minutes, and then I started detaching myself from those things. So instead of grabbing onto them and trying to fix them, I let them just be like, okay, it's a thought, and then it was gone. And then another thought would come up, and it's like, okay, cool. And it was gone. And thought after thought and things that I wanted to attach myself to, they kept coming and I kept letting them go. And then, some amazing things started to happen in terms of ideas and in terms of creativities, perspectives. One of the things that I came across was the idea that your mind is a virtual reality machine. Has anybody used one of those Oculus things yet? Where like you put your headphones on and you're like in another world. And it takes like 2 or 3 minutes for you to like immerse yourself in it. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm here. So your brain does that organically. When you're imagining something, a situation that's happened in the past, and you can feel it, you can smell it, you can taste it, obviously you can see it in your mind, that's virtual reality. Right? Well, what's virtual reality? It's not here in front of you, so it must be created somewhere else. That's in your mind. And the cool thing is then when I was in that place, I said, I'm really in my room right now. And all of a sudden it dissolved and I was like, whoa, this isn't real. All these things in my mind that feel real are not actually real. But here's the thing. The feelings that you have don't take place on your body. They take place in your mind. If you take your hand and it gets cut off and you feel your hand, that's your brain. So you don't perceive sensation, your brain does. Your hand has receptors for things, your nose has receptors for smell, but your brain is what actually perceives those things. If your brain is damaged and you cannot perceive those things anymore, you can put ice on your arm, but you won't feel it. Why? Because your brain doesn't process it. So this is where all the magic actually happens. So you are a slave to your brain. But if you are going to be, you have to have that concept kind of coming into this, and it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of you. And when you accept that, then you transcend it. So the thing that came up next for me, as I'm lying here for over 2 hours, is that you need to create a space for things to happen. What do I mean? This came up for me. You can imagine you're trying to take a photograph of a beautiful, rare bird. It's this beautiful bird that comes around once a year, and you're trying to photograph it. Right? You have a couple options. You can put a bird feeder out, or a bird bath, or you can put a cage out. Which one is going to be more conducive to getting that picture of the bird? The cage or the bird bath? The bath, right? So this is what happens when we try to get things in life. When we try to if I get that, if we attach ourselves to our goal, that's what we're doing. We're trying to trap it in order for us to get it, and now we're complete. But the universe doesn't work like that. Whenever you're trying to get something to be complete, the universe will do the opposite. Now you have an opposite option. You can create an environment for what it is that you want to come to you, and that's the bird feeder or the bird bath. You just put the bird bath out, and you wait for it to come. You create the environment you want, and then the things that you want will come to you. Now, how does that, this bird bath analogy, work with you? So just imagine something that you want in your life. Sherry, what's one thing that you have a goal or want? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. A nice house. Awesome. So is she just looking around for nice houses to grab? So I like this one. I want this house. And just stands in front of it? No. She's like, all right, I want this house. So what am I going to do, or what do I need to become in order to get this house? All right, so now I got to start thinking about maybe financing. I got to think about saving money. I got to think about maybe, my expenses. Do I need a job that allows this to happen? So what you're doing is you're creating the environment for this thing to come into your life. And then when the environment is set, it will effortlessly be yours. Most of us do the opposite. We just think about, I need this. I got to figure out how I'm going to get that. Instead of working on yourself and actually creating the environment for that thing to come effortlessly to you. And we do this all the time. We do it with, hey, maybe a house, a car. Maybe it's something more. Maybe it's something like a relationship. Man, I just can't find the right guy. Yeah, there's a reason for that. You're trying to find the right guy instead of you becoming the person that the guy's going to come into your life. I know I'm very sexist in saying it's a guy and a girl, but it could be, I want the right girl to come into my life, but I'm not creating the environment for someone to actually come into my life and want to be with me. So instead of trying to chase these things, maybe you need to slow down and say, is the environment that I'm creating something conducive for what it is that I want in my life? And that's called the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction. You will always get what you need. You may not get what you want, but you get what you need. Transformational Thursday for today. All right, guys, put your foam rollers away. Let's get started.